What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is a little bit different from the normal activity or the normal routine of how we do things here on the channel. And the reason for that is today is actually van camper testing day. So I have done a few upgrades and a few changes to the van, and basically today is a day to test this out. So it is pouring with rain outside. The winds are very high, and I am on literally a sandbar road, a very narrow road cutting across the ocean in the open. So I have a few things that I want to test. One is the awning is on the outside of the van. I actually went with a Rhino Rack Batwing awning. It's a 270 on the right hand side, so it'll open up on the side and wrap all the way around the back. We'll talk more about that later in this video. I also made a few upgrades to a couple other things here in the van that I really want to test out today, and some critical things, electrical we're talking, so I want to make sure everything's going to work, which is the reason why I chose to come to a more non-wooded area. So I'm not far off the beaten path. I'm literally on a road, I'm backed in, and if anything goes wrong, I can always call for help and get the vehicle out of here safely, or have some tools delivered, or whatever I need to do. So we're gonna make the best of this day, this little testing episode, and get comfortable in the van and see if it's worthy of a longer road trip. So it is now time for some hot coffee. All right, so now that I'm a little bit more comfortable, I've got my big wet boots off. We'll save those for later on, just in case I do have to jump out of the van, and my shoes are a little wet, so it's just easier coming in and out of the van kneeling with ankle-high shoes rather than knee-tall boots. So that's taken care of. Unfortunately, I'm just coming to a realization that I planned on doing most of my activity outside of the van on this trip, practicing with the 270 awning, getting that set up. However, in the immediate weather and location, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that Batwing would literally be a Batwing and probably fly away. And I don't want that to happen because I just got it. So having the mindset of doing everything outdoors, everything is under the bed on the rear pull-out drawer as far as cooking. So I have the canister stove in here, my little tiny canister stove, but the gas canister is outside. Everything's outside. So basically what I'm saying is I got to go back outside. So I'm going to throw on my rain jacket, head outside, pull out the drawer, grab whatever I need to come inside and have coffee. And I think while I'm out there, I might as well go ahead and put the pipe through the roof and get the wood stove prepped and ready to go for later on. I've already prepped the diesel heater tank, so it is full of diesel. I did that before I left home, so I don't have to worry about that. And I am in a rather accessible area, so this road does have a lot of through traffic. I plan on using the diesel heater more so than the wood stove, just because it's going to look really strange if people drive by and there's a chimney stuck out, smoke rolling out of the van. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I just don't really want to be bothered with people stopping and saying, hey, can I take a look at the van? Or hey, can I, you know, do you need help or anything like that? So I'm going to try and save the wood stove for a little later on. I mean, ultimately, if someone's going to stop and have a look, they're going to stop and have a look. I just don't really care for it. So I'm going back outside to get the rest of the cooking gear, get that chimney through the roof, and come back inside and start on my hot drink. Alright guys, it is full on storm mode out there. Windy, wet, rainy. It is definitely not comfortable outside. So I'm happy I have all this living space inside of the van because I'm definitely going to be utilizing it today. So what I did, went outside, I routed the stovepipe through the port, through the roof. I used a silicone baking sheet that I've cut into a square, cut a very snug circle to press down over the pipe. And then I've taken my crescent wrench and placed it on top, just some heavy tools. I could use rocks or whatever, just to help keep it planted to the ground or to the roof so the wind doesn't blow and flap it up and the rain come down the pipe. I do this all the time on my van, on my truck, and on my bus camper. Totally fine, no issues. Works really well. And as always, if you guys are curious on anything you see here today with the van build, the wood stove installation, anything, links are down in the description. Definitely have a look. So I'm managing to stay fairly dry, which is kind of surprising with all the rain out there. But yeah, wow, it is definitely windy. So I've got the van positioned this way on purpose because I want that beautiful view out the back window looking at the ocean, and the wind is going this way so I can open up the side doors without too much rain coming in. So I've got my stove, I've got my canister, I've got my fire steel, spoon, fork, all that stuff. Let's get a hot drink on the go. All right, guys, laying up in the bed, enjoying a hot cup of coffee. Boomer is in full relax and play mode at the same time. He's kind of lazy playing right now. You guys can hear that wind and rain. It is definitely something out there. I mean, we are probably, I want to say like 15 feet, maybe 18 feet away from the ocean edge right now. Those waves are slamming up against the coastline. It just looks awesome, just being out here and being next to the ocean, the sound of the rain, the wind, the van's rocking back and forth every now and then. It's a pretty fun vibe, even though I'm not very far out away from people and houses and things like that. This is still fun. This is definitely better than chilling out at home staring at a TV. I gotta say, this is definitely relaxing. So, hot cup of coffee right now. A little later on, I think I will spark up the wood stove. I kind of want to cook on it. I'm not sure of the temperature tonight. Obviously, it's raining now, so it's above 0. But it is supposed to go down to about -2, -3 Celsius. That's a reading from the nearest town. So being here on the edge of the ocean with all the wind blowing in, it could be -5, -6, which means all of this stuff out here is going to flash freeze. So who knows? We'll see what happens later on tonight or tomorrow. Hopefully the wind will let up, and maybe tomorrow morning, if it's still raining, I can get out, deploy the awning, do a little bit of cooking and stuff outside. Oddly enough, I did bring a couple pieces of firewood with me, along with my saw and axe, just in case I wanted to have a campfire out here, which, looking out that window, doesn't look like it's going to happen, but it's the thought that counts. So we are definitely outfitted to ride this out inside the van, no problem. I'm probably going to switch on the diesel heater in a few minutes, actually. Get that on, get some of this condensation off the windows burned off, get it nice and toasty in here, and relax and enjoy the views out the window. So cheers, guys. Hot coffee and a beautiful view. So I've got the diesel heater cranked on max right now just to burn off some of the condensation off the windows. It is damp and cold, well, at least I am, from going inside and outside. Pants are a little wet, put a sweater on just to warm up a little bit, so that'll really help clean off the condensation, like I was saying, just get all the windows cleared off and get it nice and dry in here. The door panel is wet, my jacket needs to dry out, my shoes are a little bit damp, so that's the beauty of the diesel heater. So talking about a couple of the upgrades that I've done to the van. One is as simple as adding a backseat organizer. This thing is not stocked yet, but I'm loving it already. Just on simple little things like reaching inside the door from outside, grabbing a bottle of water, putting a couple things in here, headlamps, flashlights. This is totally customizable. I can take it off and put it in the truck if I want to, or leave it in here, but there are pouches in here, just Molly style. I can put things in, take things out. What I'm thinking is like vehicle things and need items like jumper cables, headlamps, flashlights, things of that nature, just to kind of stow in here. That way I can open up the door, grab them, and go out if I need to. And I can cycle in and out pouches whenever I want to have different items on there. So that is one upgrade. I know it's really small, but it is a big upgrade for me, just having things organized and being able to grab various items when I need them. All right, so moving over here in front of the diesel heater to dry my pants off a little bit while I'm chatting to you guys. Another upgrade that I did is underneath the hood. I can't show that to you right now, obviously, but it is on my other YouTube channel, Destination Wilderness. The link is down in the description. What I did to the battery is I added a block with multiple outputs. This way I can run a quick disconnect cable, which then goes to booster cables, but the main function of it is it basically quick disconnect in and out, and I can run longer cables all the way to the rear of the van, which then power the winch. So if I ever get stuck, I can winch out backwards. I am going to be welding a front bumper more towards the spring and summer to then accommodate the winch on the front as well. And that is really hot. So a couple upgrades there. Just turn that down a little bit because it is getting toasty in here. Also on that is I got all the wiring done and the switch panel for the aux beam multi-switch panel, which is mounted in the front of the van. Whole video on that, which means off-road lighting is going to be coming to the van very, very soon. I just have to get on top on a clear day, do a couple bits of welding, and then I'll be able to mount all the lights up on the top, on the back, on the hood, everywhere. So this thing is going to be lit up just like the truck build. That way when I'm traveling, I can see where I'm going. Especially in a two-wheel drive vehicle, you really want to be able to see where you're going. That way, if you do get stuck, at least then you can kind of, you know, see, hey, I need to go here, I need to go there, or the best is not get stuck, of course. So everything else has basically stayed the same with the build. I'm going to be doing more upgrades. I'm going to be welding a ladder on the side of the van going up to the finalized roof rack when I get time to finalize that. A couple things here and there. Really, really neat projects are coming up on the other channel, of course. Other than that, I think we're pretty much right where we left off. The awning, the bat wing is up there. I really hope I get to use that on this trip. If not, you guys will be definitely seeing that in more videos to come. I'm just kind of looking around. I think everything's pretty much the same, so just wanted to bring you guys up to date on that. The van has been lifted. We are on bigger tires, all that stuff. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm just going to finish up my hot coffee. It is still quite warm, actually. And going to finish that up, and then it is getting later in the day, so I may light the wood stove and cut the diesel heater off, or I may just go out back and grab the griddle and pop it down here on the floor and crack when the side doors open, light that, and do a little bit of cooking down here on the floor, kind of makeshift style. I could fold up the bed because it is a tri-fold mattress and push this to the back and set the stove on the hardwood surface as opposed to putting it up here where Boomer's little perch is, just to kind of give myself more room for cooking. But I think what I'm probably going to do is try and do it on the wood stove. I think that'd be the best bet. So I'm going to relax for a few more moments. Just wanted to jump in and give you guys a little update with what has been done to the van, seeing that we are basically hiding in the van from the rain on this adventure. And yeah, I'll check back in with you guys as soon as we start on supper. Alright guys, coming inside of the van again. I had to go outside, get some couple cooking things. So I got my plate, my knife, salt, pepper, coconut oil, and ultimately I've decided to just cook over the canister stove. I'm basically going to cut up my chicken breast on top of my plate and get all that stuff ready to go. Cook on top of the canister stove because it's only a little bit of food. What I'm doing is wraps. I have some instant rice, a couple fast things just to fry up really quickly with the pot and the pan, and basically get those wraps put together and kick back and enjoy a hot meal. All right, guys, just getting ready to wrap up my chicken wraps. I got some urban garlic cream cheese on there, mushroom, onion, tomato, spinach. I gave just the chicken to Boomer and some dog food, so he's going to enjoy that. And I think what I'm going to do is park my butt right in the doorway, enjoy some ocean views, and eat some supper. Well guys, supper time is all finished with, and 2 thumbs up on those chicken wraps. Definitely much needed. I just stuck my head out the door, walked around the van for a quick second just to see if the wind was calming down or the rain was letting up. It is an absolute rainstorm outside, so going outside for the rest of this trip is probably a no-go. I'm actually drenched from just walking around the van. The winds are extremely high, so it is toasty warm in here right now. I've got the diesel heater turned down to setting number 1. And it's getting warm in here. So I'm going to be taking the sweater off, probably lounging around in just some base layer pants. Kick these slippers off too because my feet are getting quite warm. And I think Boomer and I are just going to chill out here. We have a beautiful ocean view right out the back doors. We can hear the rain tapping on the glass. We've got all the crashing wave sounds. I think that's what we're gonna do, guys, is just chill out here, maybe make up a hot chocolate later on, maybe a cappuccino, and just chill out here listening to the wind, the rain, the waves, the van's rocking back and forth a little bit. Just kind of a cool oceanside vibe right now. So it's gonna be dark within the hour. We're gonna enjoy what little daylight we have. We got an awesome vibe going on in here right now. And probably not like the wood stove. It is really warm out, and I honestly cannot see the temperatures going down that cold. The way it's feeling right now, I'm gonna go with my gut feeling and just leave the stove off, run the diesel heater, turn that down, or turn it off if I really need to, because it is nice and warm in here. So that's basically gonna be it for the night, guys, I think, and we will catch up with you first thing in the morning for hot coffee. Good night, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful morning out here right on the edge of the ocean today. So what a drastic difference in weather pattern. Last night it was wild. It was windy, it was rainy, it was just absolutely storming outside. The rain tapping on the van all night long, the wind just rocking the van all night long. And we basically just chilled out in here, watched the movie, and stayed nice and warm with the diesel heater. Did not like the wood stove, but we were definitely toasty warm all night long. So as you guys can hear, the diesel heater is cranked on right now. Woke up inside of the van. It was plus 1 degree Celsius outside. Inside was plus 21 degrees Celsius. So that's definitely a very nice way to wake up and toss off the blankets and kind of crawl out of bed in a t-shirt and boxer shorts. So definitely relaxing right out here on the ocean. Beautiful sunrise, some clouds and color up in the sky. Boomer definitely had a good night's sleep. He was full of energy, running up and down this beach, chasing after the birds that are kind of out in the water. And I think we're just going to have a pretty basic morning today. The winds are still a little high. It's gusting every now and then. Pretty strong gust, and it's not raining, so there's no point setting up the awning. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait for another adventure to do that. But always going to kick back and enjoy some coffee. So I'm going to drink up and get the van packed up, get the drawer out back put away, the stove and everything put away, do a little bit of a tidy up inside while I just basically relax and watch these waves roll in, and the big moody clouds in the sky are just pushing across too. So just wanted to say good morning, guys. Last night was very, very refreshing, and this morning is definitely exciting. So cheers. Alright guys, making my way back inside of the van. It is definitely hot in here. So a reading on the diesel heater, even though this readout is not 100% accurate, just because of where the temperature probe is placed in these units. Inside we are at 28 degrees Celsius. Honestly, it feels like it. It is very, very warm in here. Boomer's loving it. I just shut the doors, so it's going to really start building heat now. Let's go ahead and shut the diesel heater off. It has been running on high for the last 15 minutes, so that's enough to burn off any carbon deposits that may have formed up inside. And yeah, that is definitely toasty. So everything is put away in the back of the van, and it's actually the first time that I've installed the stovepipe and the jack and not lit the wood stove. So that was definitely a strange feeling, climbing up there, taking that out, not having to bang out the spark arrestor or anything like that. So we stayed nice and warm. I do have to do a quick little tidy up inside of the van. The bed, I'm just going to leave a mess. Boomer usually sleeps on that while we drive. I do have to get a couple battery units and a couple cooking items away and secured, just so they're not flying around as I put the van in drive and start driving out of here. But this was definitely an interesting trip. This is probably the first time I've ever camped in like a rural, local area, not far away from everybody, hiding in the woods. And I gotta say, this is actually a pretty formidable way to just quickly get out after work. If you work like a 9 to 5 and you don't live that far in the backcountry, you're kind of limited to where you can go. This is definitely a way to get out and enjoy yourself. You don't always have to go very far into the woods or the backcountry, and that's what I love so much about road tripping with the truck or the bus or even the van, which is going to be happening very soon. Just doing like a 7-8 day series and just hitting the road and exploring. You don't always have to go deep into the woods. Sometimes those beautiful spots are just right there, and it's more about the journey getting there. So tonight, or last night I should say, was a test to see how the van would basically do in a scenario like that. And I gotta say, I'm really happy with the ergonomics and the aesthetics of the van build. And I don't think I'm going to be changing a whole lot. Now, of course, I'm going to be doing additions as the van progresses through the months, like painting the outside with bed liner, finishing welding the rack like I already mentioned, installing the off-road lights, getting the refrigerator in here, and all those little things will start coming together. But as far as the build goes, I gotta say, I think my wife and I definitely banged it out of the park on the first try here. It's definitely working very well, and it's super comfortable. So that is basically all I have to say about the van. It is going to be time to get out of here very shortly, so I'm going to do a little tidy up here and then start the van and defrost some of the windows up front. And I think I'm going to get home and edit this video and get it out to you guys. So I just want to say thank you very much for joining me on this adventure. If you have any questions or comments at all, drop them down into the comment section, and always check the description of the video and the pinned comment for useful links to help navigate your way through some of your questions, including the van build, the stove install, and things like that. Be sure to check out our other channel, Destination Wilderness. Link is also in the description to follow along with our other adventures, which are going to include our newborn son, Orion, and more of this little guy, and all my other children, and just having fun with builds and products and all kinds of stuff on that channel. So be sure to jump over there and check that out. Until next time, peace out, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.